Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome back. We are starting the swamp level of Sherlock Holmes the Awakened. So let's just dive right into it. I don't want to waste any time. I have been really looking forward to this. Good gosh, everything is just so pretty in this game. I'm just loving it. Holmes is doing like a little break dance on the boat. Speaking of which, man, you really need to sit down. You're rocking the boat. Wham! Holmes, I'm just gonna take some time. Just take a little time to dab. Okay, the boat is really hard to steer. Like, not impossible. Not like incredibly difficult, but pretty bad. Pretty bad. Now, this area might take a little longer because it doesn't look like it's as linear as the rest of the game has been. And we have to find old Sam's racks. I don't even know what a rack really is, to tell you the truth. Is that a rack? It's got a little flag on it. Is that a rack? There's one over there. Well, that's not blue or white. I don't think. I'm kind of colorblind.
Nothing of value there, Watson.
I mean, not really. I can see colors. I just get them confused really easily. I guess it's more like color dyslexia, really. There he goes again. Wham! I don't know why he's doing that. That looks blue. Blue or purple.
Here is the hidden passage near old Sam's racks. We are on the right course, Watson.
Sweet. Okay, and I see a flag over there that does not... I don't think that's blue. Okay, so that is not where we need to go. That looks kind of like gray to me. So we'll go this way. Now, let's see, what are we looking for? There's a rock. I think it said something about a rock, didn't it? Let's see. In front of the demon rock. That looks like an S. Fill in the rest for yourself. Demon with an S. What does it sound like? That's got to be it. It's covered in blood, as Holmes says.
Blood!
Here
I
now,
knew it!
This is hardly reassuring.
Oh, Watson, you say that about everything. I could come in and be like, Watson, we won the lottery. We're set for life. We'll never have to investigate another mystery. And you'd be like, well, did you win it as a scratch ticket, or did you win it from the lotto balls? And I'd be like, well, from a scratch ticket. And you'd be like, oh, here now, this is hardly reassuring. And I'd be like, nothing pleases you, man. Gosh. Nothing ever makes him happy. Nothing is ever reassuring to Watson. He just thinks everything is bad news. Okay, I must have gone the wrong way. That's a dead end. Holmes, what are you pointing at? There's literally nothing going on. There's nothing to point at. What are you doing, man? Okay, so maybe we just went the wrong direction. So maybe we'll go that way.
But what is this horror, Holmes? Where have you taken us?
Near the goal, Watson. Near the goal.
Wow, that is super cool. And I know I've said it before, but I just want to comment again. That guy playing Watson, he's so good. Like, I totally believe... of course, some things are kind of silly. Like, what a horror. Where he doesn't sound remotely enthused about it. But some things, he just sounds... Most things, actually, he sounds great. Look at how sorry the sky is. I didn't even notice that because the actual swamp is so pitch black. Like, when he just said that, where have you taken us? Gosh, he just sounds great. Man, somebody had a good time here.
Good God! Look in the water. What monsters!
No, Watson.
Ooh,
They're
crocodiles.
crocodiles, and apparently not very accommodating.
I can think of nothing useful. What are we to do, Holmes?
We must find some enticing food to lure them away from here, Watson. Let us think.
Holmes, I fail to see how they feed these creatures, and do not rely on me to dive in.
I think you meant to say, I fail to see how we feed these creatures and don't rely on you to dive in. It's a little thing, but if you say, I just fail to see how they feed these creatures, it kind of makes it sound like you're saying that the people who were here before you fed them using your body, which would not be possible. Okay, let's see. I guess we get close enough to shoot the... I really don't like the idea of shooting animals, unless it's for, like, a survival situation. It doesn't look like I actually can shoot it. Maybe look down, turn... Oh, maybe we're supposed to shoot at one of the bodies into the water. Yep, okay. Here we go. First person... well, not really first person. Kind of like third person over the shoulder shooty time.
Bravo, Watson. Here is what will draw these reptiles in that direction and free the passage.
I guess Watson took the shot.
Much better. But let's hurry and get ourselves across before we become their next course.
Oh, man. That is so creepy and so beautiful. I love it. Absolutely love it. Holmes, will you stop dabbing? Please, just stop dabbing for 5 minutes, okay? You're already wearing that weird green outfit. It's just, Watson is not even dressed for this
Attention,
occasion.
Watson. We arrive. Stand ready.
Here now, this is hardly reassuring.
Nothing is ever reassuring to you, Watson. Nothing. Watson, your wife survived the emergency surgery. Here now, this is hardly reassuring. Oh, Cthulhu! There he is! Oh my gosh.
Watson, see what you can do for this poor man. His servant took a harsh and terrible revenge by letting him go to these wild men. As for the others, I'm afraid we are too late.
You got a little hand on your ear there, Mr. Arneson. I'm so sorry.
I haven't examined everything yet.
Oh, I guess we're supposed to take him with us as we go. So he is alive. I mean, he's got to be in such deep shock. I don't think he'll make it. Ooh. Where to explore first? Let's explore the fireplace over here first.
Pitiable
That
and
seems-
blind fools! Are you not aware of the Great One's arrival?
He's got a baby Cthulhu on his chest.
Servants are coming across his kingdom, and the
His
enlightened
kingdom!
will give up their flesh to him.
He's dancing!
All will be present for his awakening.
He was like doing the twist, man.
Do not fight the calling.
Oh yeah, the calling to be part of the
It is
Cthulhu
dreaming,
dance
and
troupe.
your world will be swallowed whole.
Holmes will just
Bow
be in the back
down
dabbing
and
repeatedly.
give thanks. You are the food of his new world.
Oh yeah. Yeet yeet. Watch. Oh, is Watson gonna shoot him? Watson.
I've got it, Holmes.
What? I'm gonna say that to everything that happens. Like, hey, do you have the remote control? I've got it, Holmes. Watson, why is your solution to everything shooting people? What, you shoot the man who dances? You wanted to shoot the sheriff? Luckily, you did not shoot the deputy. This poor guy was trying single-handedly to restart the Cthulhu dance troupe, and you not only shot him, but dislocated his shoulder. Watson, how could you? Oh my god. Oh, and we cut off his arm, too. Well, that's not pleasant.
This sinister figure was also a cannibal. Bored by seafood, was he?
Holmes! Man, remember when we were in the raccoon's nest? He was like, I hope you found Mr. Arneson to be a man of good taste. Your jokes are
A
horrible.
number of people have been here, not long ago, and indeed not freely.
Okay, yeah, that seems pretty accurate. So this is another situation where just dozens of people have been put together. And remember, they all spoke different languages at the Edelweiss. So I'm thinking here they probably had people of different ethnicities, too. Man, beautiful, big old Cthulhu. Oh, who's a good elder god? Who's a good elder god? You are.
I won't do that.
I won't do that. Gosh, it irritates the crap out of me when he does that.
I cannot do this.
Mama Cthulhu, meet Baby Cthulhu. Oh my gosh, and you spat a book out at me.
What a strange book. I've never seen these idioms before. How perfect. It'll provide welcome diversion during our return voyage.
Holmes reading Cthulian texts is not generally a good idea. I can't pick up Baby Cthulhu. Oh, Baby Cthulhu's been with us this entire time, and I can't pick him up now. Oh well, Mama Cthulhu, you take good care of Baby Cthulhu. We brought him a long way, literally across an ocean to be with you, so please be careful with him.
We must act quickly, Holmes.
I couldn't agree more. I guess it's time to take Mr. Arneson.
Holmes, help me to carry him to the boat. I really can't say if he will survive the voyage back.
Watson, why are you screaming? I was already right next to the body. I want you to come and help me. I'm already there to help you. Can't help you if you don't help yourself, buddy. I don't think him and Lucy are going to end up having a happy ending. Man, what a beautiful sky, huh?
By the devil, that'd be Arneson.
I love champagne.
Indeed. Do you know someone who can be accommodating and tend to him?
You takes yourselves round and sees that little Lucy what lives on the boat.
I know where Lucy is. Please, help my friends to lift this poor man to the wharf, and I will go find Miss Lucy.
What can we do for you, my pretty one?
Dear madam, could you tell Lucy that we have found Mr. Arneson, and tell her to hurry? This may be her last chance to see him while he still breathes.
He's not going to make it.
Lucy! Lucy! Ah, here you are. This gentleman found your fella.
My God, can it be true?
Sure enough, as he say.
You don't know. You haven't seen it. That was an odd line, wasn't
What
it?
have they done with you? Oh, my poor love.
Listen, he'll be fine. Just give him a
He has
chainsaw.
lost his hand and is in deep shock. But with rest and tender care, he has a good chance to survive these injuries.
5 minutes ago, you weren't even sure he'd survive the journey.
Please, please.
If I could have a moment, we found this sum of money, which is a large amount, and belongs to Mr. Arneson. I think it is fair to entrust it to your care.
Well, this seems all right then.
Nice.
I will take good care of you. You'll see, my love.
Sweet, so we
About
paid off her
Arneson's
debts.
Place,
Cool.
There was some disorder left there. If you could be a good man and set things right.
You can count on old Champagne for every little thing. Now that's a fact.
I can see our friend is in good hands. We better hurry, Watson. I see our ship is making ready to leave.
I've said this before, but I love the characters in this game. The story is really good too, but the characters make it. The characters are so much fun. They all feel so lived in. This is not going to end well. Oh, we got our baby Cthulhu back, but good gosh, this is not going to end well. He's doing the Cthulhu dance. Holmes is going to revive the
Watson,
Cthulhu dance
I have told
troupe.
you several times now. I am not to be disturbed.
But Holmes, you have been locked inside your
Oh, my
cabin
lungs.
for all of 4 days now. Outside, the sun is simply radiant, and the wind from the sea...
If you approach me, Watson, I will throw you out. Now, leave me.
I need to practice
Blast it
my
all,
dancing.
Holmes. I am bored. I can't take these sailors' conversations for another minute.
We have an understanding, Watson, each to his purpose. I will look to the translation of the book. You are to study the figures written out by our young friend Davy. Now, get on with your task and leave me to mine.
But you know that these enigmas are not my strong point. Wouldn't you have some other task which is better suited to my skills, Holmes?
Forgot an apostrophe.
Of course, you're a man of letters, after all. So, return to the bridge, take your trusted notebook, and apply your mind to editing this small writing.
Agreed. On what subject?
It is my monograph on the calculated trajectories of gull excretia. Good day, Watson.
Oh man, this game is so great. Here, go calculate out the trajectory of pigeon crap. That's what you're good for, Watson. If you can't figure out the number puzzle. Oh gosh, the number
we
puzzle.
have received a message. Undoubtedly from my brother Mycroft.
Oh.
Strange. Here, read this, Watson.
You didn't let me read it!
Indeed. But the possession of such a treasure is an end in itself.
What treasure?
Why the devil go through with such an elaborate masquerade?
I don't know, because I couldn't read it.
Money is often the motive of the basest acts, but not in this case. These are deep waters indeed, Watson. These people follow some other dark purpose, so desperate that it justifies any sacrifice and great risk.
You frighten me, Holmes.
I know, sometimes I frighten myself. Enough of idle speculations, Watson. I asked you to study the figures drawn by young Davy. No doubt they are some cipher. What do you make of them?
I don't know. Listen, I failed Algebra 2 twice. Let's read Mycroft's letter first. Okay. Here we go. Are you ready for this? I know I am.
Adjust my microphone this time so you guys can hear me better. Here we go. Sherlock, you should receive this letter upon your Okay, I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. Okay. Sherlock, you should receive this letter upon your return from the Americas. Your instructions were followed to the letter in Switzerland, and I believe you will find the results satisfying. Several days ago, the Swiss authorities inspected the Black Edelweiss Institute and found evidence of serious breaches of established medical ethics, in total accord with your findings. Dr. Gyjack was also found and detained. Unfortunately, before anything could be learnt with a T, he took desperate measures. He had hidden a small but highly lethal dose of potassium cyanide on his person. Dang! Before he could be stopped, he swallowed this poison and died immediately. His employees denied any knowledge of the doctor's murderous activities, and the evidence supports the conclusion that they were merely employees carrying out his orders. No trace was found of the Hindi, however. Your friend, Superintendent Bilger, informed me that during the search of an underground level of the Institute, his men discovered a blood-spattered well. Ta-da! In this room, they were also reporting hearing strange maniacal laughter that appeared to come from the bottom of that same well. The superintendent thinks, as do I, that the sound was the shouting of the patients gathered in the hospital square. He theorizes that due to the odd acoustics present, this sound was distorted and appeared to be originating from that foul well. I must say I agree completely with his reasoning and mention the odd report merely to apprise you of all the facts. You should also know that since the discovery, that dreadful room has been condemned and permanently sealed. Although most of Dr. Gyjax's documents were destroyed before the arrival of the Swiss police, a number of accounting references survived. These were adequate to trace a series of suspicious transactions, not superstitions. Even the famed confidentiality of the Swiss banks has their limits. What I learnt, with a T again, though seemingly fantastic, is quite probable. It seems that Dr. Gyjax had laid his hands on a goodly portion, if not the entirety, of Lord Rochester's lost treasure. You may recall the story. Lord Rochester, the infamous London billionaire, married an American woman. They had but one child, a lad named Archibald. After the boy completed his education and achieved his majority, he traveled east to take charge of his father's interests. In addition to his holdings in England, Lord Rochester also held a number of jewel mines in India. At the end of 2 years, Archibald had accumulated a fortune in gemstones, all of the highest quality. The best of these were placed in a chest which he took with him into a ship bound for England. Then his fortunes turned. Neither he nor the gems ever saw land, as a dreadful storm sank the ship near the Indian coast. Only a few of the ship's crew survived. The bodies of the rest were pulled from the sea, with one notable exception. Not a trace was found of either Archibald or the famed chest. The tragedy took a far greater toll. Lord Rochester was devastated by the news and died soon after. Grief-stricken, Lady Rochester returned to her family home in Boston, Massachusetts, near Innsmouth. She herself died not long ago. What was once a noble family is now gone. What you may not know is that Archibald Rochester had the stones carefully documented and inventoried before he boarded the ship. I was fortunate to see these very documents recently. Comparing the particulars, I can say with the utmost confidence that some of these same stones, presumably at the bottom of the Indian Ocean abyss, have astoundingly surfaced in the middle of the Swiss Alps. I was unsuccessful in uncovering exactly what facts led Amos Colby of the Northwood Agency, the Northwood Agency operative, I started editorializing there, I don't know why, to the area, but you may know more about the subject than I am privy to. Sincerely yours, Mycroft.
The jewel transaction in New Orleans. Of course, this is making so much sense. They were selling off these jewels, or maybe they were distributing these jewels to pay for the cult members to build homes for the fishmen. My theory needs a little bit of work. I'll get back to you on that. Oh, okay. The Little Davies thing. Okay. I'm going to need some time. This was a clever one. But it was so clever it got me. It took me a few days to figure it out, actually. But I did get there in the end. And I'll tell you what, it's a great puzzle. I thought at first that this was a coded message. It's not. It's actually finding a series of numbers from a series of numbers. So what you're doing is you're going dash to these dashes is not the end of a word. It's when a number repeats. And so what you do is you're looking for when a number repeats, and you hyphenate it out, right? You slash it out, forward slash it out, and you get sets of numbers, okay? And what those numbers are is the numbers 1 through 9, and you're looking for the missing number in each set of numbers. It's pretty clever, and I think what you're actually looking for, I'm thinking this because down here, if you look, there is a compass. I'm thinking that what we actually end up finding was a set of coordinates, but I don't know that for sure. I'm not even sure that this is going to work, but we're going to try it. 5, 6, 4, 3, 6. Space it out. 1, 6. 6, 1. 34.
Indeed, they are open
Yeah!
to but one possible meaning, even if it eludes me at present. As for my own enigma, I have failed to penetrate the secrets of this book. The language is archaic, and my own modest knowledge of ciphers is sorely tested. I have succeeded in drawing forth only insanities and other absurdities. According to this book, if my translation is exact, if one makes this mark with human blood, and then with conviction recites this illuminating verse, the victim is mesmerized, or demons leave his mind. I tell you, Watson, this reads like complete gibberish. I do not know what to make of it.
How did you say it? What?
It's okay. Even fans don't know how to say it.
What a horror. I tell you,
What
Holmes,
a horror.
this book gives me great unease, as does almost everything to do with this affair.
I just recalled, Watson. Didn't Barnes, the bookseller, tell us he had studied ancient history? Perhaps he might help us with the translation of this book. We must seek out better minds, for we are at a standstill. I have not the slightest idea where they could have taken these people and what consequences await them. Let's take our leave and see if Barnes might be of assistance.
Okay. Good thing he said that we need to go to Barnes like 6 times in that sentence. Okay, we got the book there. Oh, there it is. Okay. Good thing he didn't say it with conviction. Otherwise, Watson would have been mesmerized. Our demons would have left his mind. Killing Tempest. Hope that doesn't mean Shakespeare's The Tempest. I'd be very sad to see that killed. That's one of my favorite plays. Whoa, wait. Stinick left the ladder propped against the side of his wall for months while we were in America? In Switzerland, too? We've been gone. We have to have been gone like 7 or 8 months. Minimum, right? I mean, going that journey by ship back then before Steam
Mr.
was
Holmes,
just...
Dr. Watson, a real pleasure to see you. I say, where have you been? You've stayed away for some months now.
Indeed, we took a very long journey and barely made it back. However, we have more important matters to discuss. Didn't you say you have some knowledge of ancient people, their language, writings, and customs?
Indeed I did, Mr. Holmes. Why do you ask?
Here you go.
You are just the man we need. I ran
already
across
had
this
it in my
esoteric
hand.
text during our travels and wondered if... Is there something wrong, Barnes?
Mr. Holmes, wherever did you find this? This book, it is worthy of a museum.
If you could be so good as to translate some of these fragments for me, I would be in your debt. I am particularly interested in these pages here. They are in the poorest condition and therefore appear to be the most used.
With pleasure. I will get to work straight away and keep you informed of my progress.
He's slowly turning into Gollum. I don't like it. Barnes, I don't feel like we just did you any favors, man. What does that newspaper say? Bromsby brings in... Why is it written backward? Okay, whatever. Wait, what are we doing now? We gave him the book. What are we doing now? I'm sorry. I completely did not even think about what was actually going on here. Go hang out for a while. Go exploring, maybe. Ah, I skipped over him. You're gonna be my next story point, aren't you?
Strand! Get the Strand! 3 ships still missing at sea. All aboard feared lost. Get the Strand! Latest word on the missing ships.
Give me the latest edition. There's a good lad.
Thank you, mister.
Watson, consider the news of all these missing ships. I have an idea, but it will be necessary to secure a chart for the Scotland coast and nearby seas. No point in asking Barnes. I have no desire to divert his attention from the translation.
Excuse me.
True enough, Holmes. But where else would we find such a chart?
Well, we need a chart of the sea, so I think it would make sense to go to the harbor. However, we got a newspaper, which we stole from a newspaper lad. We just said, give it to us. We never paid him. Ooh, tiny writing. Okay, here we go. Actually, I'm just going to sum it up. Okay, this one was actually a lot shorter than the first one. So, it looks like they're talking about there's a massive storm that has been blowing in. And it's not only affecting the Scottish and Irish coastline, like we were kind of led to believe, but actually, as far as it says, Europe, the Americas, Africa, and Oceania all speak of rapidly deteriorating sea conditions. It's because Cthulhu is waking up and he's rattling, he's making waves, causing tsunamis. All the Japanese people are running in fear. And then you top down here, and it looks like that, of course, there are tsunamis elsewhere, but the word tsunami is Japanese. So obviously, it's the Japanese people are going to be more widely affected, right? It's their word. And then we got another little reference to Arsene Lupin, who we had a reference to in the last newspaper. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's go to the harbor.
It's elementary. It is a sea chart we seek. We must go to the harbor.
You can stare at me all day. I really don't mind you staring at me. It's Holmes that I mind.
Good day, sir.
Good morning to you, gentlemen. Would you care for a pint, or perhaps something finer?
Thank you, but at the moment I have need of information and will have to miss another glass of your fine ale. More's the pity. Would you happen to know where I could find charts of the local waters?
They're all kept at the harbour master's office, but I'm afraid only those with port business are allowed to enter. I trust you understand.
It's fair.
Precisely. What I need is a chart of the Scottish area, where all those ships have wrecked recently.
Indeed. Such a sad tale. All those poor souls lost at sea. It seems as if the very devil is at work there. Hang on. A
Maybe
chart of the
so.
Scotland coastline, you said. It seems to me I have one in my room over there, behind the bar. Here's the key. Take it and have a look for yourself. If you find it, it's yours for the taking.
Here, stranger, here's a key to my room. Go, rummage through my stuff and take anything you want.
I need something.
Holmes, we just got the key. Can't you just automatically select it? I mean, it's what we just got. Also, thank you, Mustachio Man. Sea charts. Sea charts. Sea charts. Lots of alcohol. I'm gonna have fun back here. What's
a
that?
photograph of Rochester as a young man.
You know, this Rochester guy, I think he's gonna turn out to be somewhat important. I'm getting the vibe he didn't really die in that shipwreck.
I have what we need, Watson. Now, let's examine this map.
Too bad Watson's not back here. Oh. Oh dear.
Watson, that's what those mysterious
Got it.
figures meant. Longitude and latitude. They indicate a point along the Scottish coast called Ardnamurcombe. Let's bring back the key to the tavern keeper and see if he knows this place.
Gosh, well, it's a good thing that Watson's disembodied mind can hear me. Man, Mom always told me, listen, it's important, Ben. You've got to learn longitude and latitude. It'll help you in life. And I thought she was just making up crap, but I granted, I never thought it would help me in a video game. But she was right. It did help me in life. It really did. Here's your key back, bro.
Did you
Awesome
find
stash,
everything
by
to
the
your
way.
liking?
Indeed, you are as good as your word. I found the charts just as you said. Does the name Ardnamurcombe mean anything to you?
Ah, yes. It's a lighthouse along that very coastline. Legend has it, the place was built over a pirate's hideaway. In
Convenient.
fact, now that I think on it, that spot is right in the middle of the tempest that is taking down all those ships. Rather odd-looking building. They say the chap who built it, Stevenson I believe his name was, that he fancied up the entrance with foreign symbols, Egyptian obelisks and even a dog with wings. Strange fixings for a lighthouse, isn't it?
Stevenson, you say. A man named Stevenson. He built on a island of treasure, if you will. A treasure island, you might say. Oh, and I'm sure Hercule Poirot took a train to come visit, too. Gosh, this game. Oh, this game. Oh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I love it.
Mr.
Unless it has...
That gent Barnes is
Whoa.
looking for you. He says to come quick. Most urgent news.
Don't startle me like that, boy. Unless they mess it up with, like, a really bad ending, which I can't see them doing at this point. This game's just been fantastic.
Mr. Holmes, I was able to translate the pages
Beginning
that
to
you wanted.
end.
Come, I will show you. This book is quite ancient. It tells of a terrifying sect devoted to strange entities. The descriptions are vague, but we can presume the origin of this myth arises from the destructive Leviathan represented in the Bible, a creature said to sleep and dream in a strange city under the sea.
A nightmare
sense.
sleeping within the sea.
To be exact, the pages you asked me to translate are in fact a prayer or invocation to this entity and the description of the ceremony associated with it. To be frank, what is described in this book would make one laugh, were it not for its reliance on such horribly obscene, morbid, and bloodthirsty language.
And this ceremony, what can you tell me about it?
Promise me you will not laugh. The book says that hundreds
Sorry.
or thousands of years ago, during a particular alignment of the stars, a priest performed these rites, invoking the name of a destructive Leviathan. The priest intoned his name and called for his return to this earth so his followers could give him his due. The priest then asked a representative of each nation on the earth to recite the invocation and sacrifice themselves to the sea from atop a colossal natural rock tower surrounded by water. All this is quite absurd, isn't it?
Pray continue, Barnes.
As you like. It goes on to say that the ceremony must be held under the image of the messenger of the outside gods. Nothing more exact is said on these entities. However,
I think I know who that is.
Their messenger would have a form rather close to the Egyptian Sphinx.
Yes!
Except
Nyarlathotep!
his face is without feature and jet black in colour.
Yeah, it's totally
So an idol
Nyarlathotep.
in its likeness must be present during the ceremony. But can you imagine that? Some so-called priest and an international crowd atop a tower singing in unison before some faceless winged stone lion?
Yeah, I can.
I can imagine it very well, Barnes.
Holmes
You say
can
that these
too.
people are to throw themselves into the sea so that their god will have his due. But what is it about? What does this god seek?
That's the most preposterous part of this tale, and proves it to be pure myth and fancy. Even for the sake of argument,
I gotta indulge
this
me.
ceremony could never have happened. In such ancient times, it would have been quite impossible to gather representatives from every nation on Earth and in one place.
I get it, bro.
I understand, Barnes. Humour me a bit more. And
He's
please
trying to
answer
convince
my last
himself.
question.
That's what's happening
what
here.
would this Leviathan want from us?
Indeed, we would owe this creature our world. According to this, complete the ceremony and the collective sacrifice, invoke the demon, and he will arise and swallow the earth. Yes, Holmes, they sought nothing less than the end of the world. What nonsense!
Keep telling yourself that, Barnes.
Thank you, Barnes. I must leave now. Goodbye.
I think we both,
The
we all
newspaper
know.
dating before our departure. Watson, find it. There was some article about the current alignment of the stars. This may tell us precisely how much time we have left.
But Holmes, surely you can't believe...
The newspaper, Watson. Find that newspaper.
Well, whether or not I believe it doesn't matter, because the point is they're still costing human lives. So it doesn't even matter if Holmes believes it. They're going to sacrifice. They're committing a small genocide, a baby genocide for a baby Cthulhu. That's what's happening here. Ta-da!
Look, Watson! The light is barely lit. This explains the shipwrecks and recent disappearances.
Ta-da!
Holmes, if we do not find a
sense.
place to land, and soon, I fear they will add our names to those poor souls lost in these seas.
Now that one made sense.
The sea! It just swallowed him!
Ta-da!
Lambs for the slaughter! Watson, we must stop this!
Watson, it did not just swallow him. Ta-da! This just keeps happening. Watson, it did not just swallow him. He jumped from a standing mast. It has nothing to do with the sea swallowing him. I'm telling you, this would not work. Okay, I'm just saying now, this is not Awakening Cthulhu. Okay, this has nothing to do with Awakening Cthulhu. These guys think they're gonna do that, but it won't work. It wouldn't work. Even if Holmes did nothing, it wouldn't work. It would just kill a bunch of people. But I'll have to tell you why I think that in the next episode. I'll see you next time.